Very good evening. Welcome to Talking Sheffield this Thursday evening. Always good to see you there, and always good for me to see my guests over there. It's always a relief when they arrive, and they have arrived in very good time tonight. I think it's a first actually for this Thursday show, in that we have a sitting MP on the programme. Chesterfield MP, Labour MP, Toby Perkins, who happens to be a Sheffield resident of fairly long standing and a supporter of Sheffield United, which brings us nicely on to the guy sitting just to your left. Toby needs no introduction, will be instantly recognised, not least for one particular facial feature, John Brayford of Sheffield United. And the great news is that John is on his way back from injury. He's been out all season. John, you're, I would imagine, about that close to playing again for the first team, yeah? Yeah,
that's right. It's been like a long road, but gradually building up the minutes in the under-21s. But yeah, it's got there step by step, but hopefully we're on that final trail now.
Yep, final trail, having played a couple of times, I think, in under-21 games, which is not quite the same, but presumably you've said to Nigel Adkins, the manager, I'm ready, have you?
Yeah, it's definitely, if it was down to me, I'd have played first game of the season and stuff, but no, the gaffer's been really good with me and progressed really nicely, and we had a minor setback, but that's all in the past now, and hopefully we can take it from here and progress on this road again.
Yeah, as personally you've had a minor setback. We'll perhaps talk about your observations on what's going on the field. Not that you've had any part of it. It's fair to say it's not been going according to plan this season, but yours is now. At what stage did you say, you said you could have been playing, in your opinion, by now, but managers also have your welfare at heart, don't they, in terms of when they actually bring you back into the team. So at what point did you say, yeah, no, boss, I'm ready?
I think the first day he took over, sort of thing, but yeah, that's just in my character, and I'll play for this football club whenever they need me and such. But I think I'm in the right physical shape now to say that, and the gaffer's been great with me, and he's gradually put me along, and it's been good going with Morgs in the under-21s, building up the minutes. But obviously the next progression from there is training with the first team and hopefully getting some more games now.
Straining at the leash, I think it's fair to say. Toby, how badly do they need him?
I think pretty badly at the moment. You described me as a Sheffield resident. I've lived in Sheffield for a few years, but I've lived in Chesterfield for 25 or so now.
Right,
so,
okay.
Just get the record straight on that. But no,
as Chesterfield MP, it's very important that you
get these things straight. But no, I mean, as I've moved to Sheffield in 1987 and got a job at Sheffield Poly, and I was Silverdale. You become either a United fan or a Wednesday fan, or you ain't got any mates, and I became a United fan, and despite the fact I've lived in Chesterfield a long time since then, still try to get down to Bramall Lane, and you know, pretty depressing times right now, sadly.
Let's get the thing out of the way first of all. Chesterfield MP who supports Sheffield United now, and admits he supports Sheffield United.
And still got elected as well.
You're talking to a Chesterfield supporter, right? Okay. So where does that sit, and how awkward can that be within your
Well, I think a little bit. I mean, I've got a responsibility to Chesterfield. Chesterfield Football Club's an incredibly important institution in the town. I've got a great relationship with Chris Turner, and you know, we speak to them regularly. I've been involved in sort of casework, trying to help them. Wrote a letter to the FA when they had an eligible player, and so from a job perspective, I'm there for Chesterfield. I'm a football fan, and I know how important the club is. But you know, deep in my heart, I've always been a Blade, and you know, I've always been straight about that as well. So I you know, always try and be helpful to Chesterfield, but come Saturday afternoon, I'm more likely to be found at Bramall Lane.
Okay, right. I'm going to be at Saltergate Saltergate. Goodness me, I'm way out. I'm years out. I'm going to be at the Proac Stadium this weekend. First time I've seen Chesterfield this season. Very close to my heart. But so are both Sheffield clubs. You can't work in this area as long as I have without having an affection and an affinity for both of them. Well, what was the swaying factor for you when you decided that allegiance?
Well, I mean, I'd been an Arsenal fan as a kid, and I came up here. I suppose, I mean, I lived in Netheridge at the time, so United was slightly closer. I thought that if I supported Wednesday, who were in the top flight at that time, they'd play against Arsenal, so I kind of went for the underdogs. And I think sometimes you just have that feeling, don't you? I think I went to Bramall Lane for the first time. First season I supported them was the Billy McHugh and Dave Bassett relegation season, but nonetheless there was something about the club that I never regretted the decision.
I think you take a great risk in mixing politics and football. There's enough politics in football without being in politics as well. Yeah. You're on Twitter as well, which is a powerful combination. I just stick to football. There's enough politics. I never tweet about politics, and I won't ask you too many questions about that tonight, because you don't really want me to talk to this guy about politics. What about you, John? You play for the Blades. You obviously support the team you play for, but what's your football background?
Well, when I was really young, my dad used to take me to watch Stoke City because we used to live right next door to the old Victoria ground. So that was the progression to being a mascot there and just supporting your local team and the team in the town. So that was when Stoke were low down then, sort of thing. And obviously they've done really nicely, but nowadays it's Sheffield United in my heart. That's why I wanted to come and play for this football club, and just the whole place of Sheffield. It's somewhere I enjoy to be, and to have the privilege to put that red and white shirt on makes it even better.
Well, you're here via Burton Albion, under Nigel Clough, Crewe Alexandra, Derby County under Nigel Clough, Cardiff City, and then you moved from the Premier League actually at the time to Sheffield United in the third tier for Nigel Clough, who's no longer manager.
Yeah, he asked me because I was having a bit of a rough time at Cardiff and things weren't going to the way I thought they would go up there, and I knew when I came to Sheffield United I'd get game time. Like I could have took a few loans in the Championship, but nothing was guaranteed. Then ever since that first day, I think Fulham was the first game at home, and ever since then it's just been somewhere that's just found a special place for me really. And people say, yeah, you have all these quotes and all what people say, like they support the team they're playing for, but yeah, this place does hold fond memories for me and somewhere I hope to achieve better things from now.
You had your loan spell first. You became a big favourite just on loan, and then I think people looked at it and thought this transfer is unworkable, because you signed for Cardiff for £1.5 million, and they wanted something similar for you to be transferred. And Sheffield United are a third-tier club, plus the wages that you were on. I won't ask you what they were, but they were obviously considerable. And the deal happened. Yeah, a surprise to a lot of people.
Yeah, it was. I think Sheffield United did a lot of work behind the scenes, try to get me to come back, and as soon as Russell Slade and Ken Jewett at Cardiff said that they'd agreed it was up to me, then I knew the deal would get through the door. It was just a matter of agreeing a fee, and then it was just down to me sort the rest out. But that was a minor issue, to be honest with you.
What, the pay? A minor issue?
Well, it was somewhere I wanted. There was like unfinished business really, and the way the fans took to me after I had a rough time at Cardiff, I think sometimes you owe people a little bit in life, and I wanted to come back because we went from, I think it was like 23rd to 7th in my first year, and we got to a semi-final, but even then there was something niggling away that I wanted to come back really. And that's no disrespect to Cardiff, because when Ollie and Russell Slade, they put me in the team, and it was just something in the back of my mind which it would have bugged me for the rest of my football career if it was a what-if sort of moment.
So this became a haven for you after a difficult time at Cardiff. You were committed. Was that because of Sheffield United, the football club, or Nigel Clough, the manager, at that time?
Nigel Clough, obviously, he'd nurtured me through my younger days, and he gave me the opportunity to come play here, but it's just the football club as a whole, really, and even the gaffer now has been great with me, and it's just a great place to be with the history and the people, and you speak to anybody really, and Sheffield United is a massive football club which we need to be doing better, and that's where we strive to be, and me personally I want to be on that journey to take them that way.
But for that to happen, you had to take a pay cut. That's well documented. Was that a big pay cut?
Not. Money isn't everything, really. I think I'd take the memories over the money, really, sort of thing. And I think we've got plenty more memories to come. I know we're going through a rough patch at this moment in time, and these fans are great here, and they will stick with us. I know sometimes the frustrations build up because how many years they've been in this league, but
5.
Yeah, and the good times will come. I'm pretty sure of that.
Percentage-wise, give us an idea, can you? 25%, 50% even? Down?
It's, round about that figure.
50?
So.
50?
Well...
Almost half?
No, I wouldn't say. No. Around that figure, yeah.
Close, okay. Well, do you know, that's a significant sacrifice. Toby, that's so... we complain, don't we, about wages in football and so many players prioritising that. But how refreshing.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I think, you know, you can't underestimate the impact that John had, not just as a player, but sort of as an iconic figure in that what was an amazing run, going from, you know, start of March to the 23rd, and, you know, I think that was all the playoff failures. If we could have made the playoffs that year, I'm pretty sure that was the year we were actually arriving with momentum. But no, John was one of those sort of iconic figures that there's not been that many of over the years. You know, you can name them, Bob Booker's, Brian Dean's, you know, Jackie Oka maybe, but not that many that really have been sort of transcended just a player that's in the side and someone that the fans really wanted to turn out. And so it was a massive piece of business for the club to bring him back.
A unifying player, a player of great character and buccaneering, I would describe your style. Down the right-hand side as a right back. During that season, the run to the semi-finals, almost getting to the playoffs, as Toby said. Such a lot of momentum there. Just has not happened since. It's so frustrating.
No, and you go through these rough patches, really, and I don't want to just say it's one of them things because it shouldn't, really. Like, we've got a team see us as a massive scalp in this year, and people say we should match them for weight rate as well. You go the other way and say if they see us as a big scout, we not only match them, we've got to be 10% better than that, really, because we do have the ability, like everybody knows that. It's just a matter of showing that bit of character and showing that bit of grit and determination to... Sometimes you have to grind results out in this league and then your football will shine through, but we've got to earn that right in the first place to do that.
Quite clearly, it's a shock to be conceding so many goals, especially at home. And it seems that the team has gone almost from one extreme to the other, from being a tight team when you played under Nigel Clough, 0-0, 1-0, 1-1, whatever, to now be a high scoring, you know, goals at both ends. So what is the identity of the Sheffield United team?
Obviously, we want to play football, really, and we don't go out intending to concede goals like nobody would want to. But yeah, we know we've got to be tight, and that just isn't the defence or the midfield. That's everybody, and that's just defending from the front and basically sticking together. Like these are the times where you have to stick together, and it's probably not so easy for the young lads. They haven't been through this in their career before, so it's up to the likes of myself and the older experienced players to help them get through it. And I think, we can say we shouldn't be conceding the goals, but we've got to stick together at this stage and even go on with the mindset, look, we aren't going to lose this game today. If anything, it's going to be 0-0, but we've got to get back to the mindset where we're not conceding. Yeah,
and with no disrespect to any other team, you look at the budgets of other teams in your league and you look at the small status of those teams who are doing better than Sheffield United. Is it a poorer League One this year than it was last year? Toby's nodding.
Well, I think it is, yeah. I mean, I think that this is the second of the 5 years we've been in there where I've thought the league was really open. I mean, the other one was the second year that Danny Wilson was there, where there really isn't an outstanding side. And I think Sheffield United fans expect us to win this league. There's no doubt about that. But you go back to the season John was there the first time, we had a great time. I finished the season really well. And it felt like we were close. And I saw Harry Maguire didn't keep Connor Cody, didn't keep John, and there were 3 real quality players. Bought 9 or 10 players in, and you know, the number of players that of that 9 or 10 that came in, you really say we couldn't do without, will be pretty few and far between.
Yeah.
So I think we replaced quality with quantity, and I think that was a real shame. And you know, I was very frustrated by last season because I felt that at the end of the season, the problems we had were exactly the problems we had at the start. You know, we didn't have we had Neil Collins and Andy Butler who didn't play all season, and yet we couldn't defend a corner because we hadn't got sort of presence at centre half, and Higdon and Naughty been brought in to get goals. We weren't scoring goals, so you know, we ended the season pretty much exactly where we'd started it in terms of the problems we had. And obviously Nigel Clough paid with his job.
That must have been a jolt to you, wasn't it, when the manager that you've played for so often was sacked?
Yeah, but that's football really, and obviously managers go and come nowadays. It seems the norm in football, whereas it happens and you get on with it. And obviously the gaffer's come in now, and he's been great with everyone. Like, he's been really positive with everyone, and he's tried to let people express themselves. And people get on the manager's back like they do at any football club. But we're the people who cross that white line at the end of the day. The gaffer can set his plans out, but we've got to go out there and do the business really. Like,
it's got a big responsibility you feel in the dressing room.
Of course, yeah, and we need to pull together really when we cross over that white line. Nobody else can change that. Then it's up to us. The gaffer can only do so much, and we need to take responsibility ourselves sometimes.
It seems almost to be the default position of supporters who understandably are frustrated. I mean, Sheffield United supporters, you need the patience of a saint to tolerate what they've had to put up with for 5 years. So you can understand it. But that default position, Toby, is always among, I always think, a minority of the louder voices. Sack the manager.
Well, it's the quickest solution, isn't it? And,
is it a solution though?
Well, not often. It's not. Sometimes it brings about an immediate improvement. But I mean, it's not always the answer. But you need, fans will tolerate not always being in the top 2 or 3, but they need a sense that we're moving forward. And at the moment, with the greatest respect, it doesn't feel that the club is moving forward. We've won 3 games in the last 14. You've seen teams like Shrewsbury and Colchester calling sort of dominators, and people aren't going to tolerate that forever. And I think people do want. Nigel Adkins had huge support. People want it to work for him. But it needs to start turning around reasonably quickly.
Well, as I said in the paper and on Twitter, if Nigel Adkins is the wrong manager, you might as well sack us all, because we all said he was the right manager. Everybody. Yeah. Well, 1 or 2 people now are saying they didn't, but I don't recall it being opposed. Do you go along with what we're saying, John, that it is a big opportunity this season, looking at maybe the fact there isn't so much strength in League One? Yeah,
I think it's an open league sort of thing, and people are always class us as the favourites. I think that's been the case for the last 5 years, really. But like you say, if you look at it, we should set out to win 46 out of 46, and that's the aim, as it was last year, sort of thing. And maybe that isn't going to happen now to win all them games, but that should be our mindset from the off, really, to aim to win every sort of game. And when you come back in, as you surely will do, and I personally, I know you can't comment, I'd be surprised if you're not involved at Barnsley this weekend. Right back, centre back, whereabouts? Where do you prefer? I like them equally as both, if I'm honest with you, but I suppose you can't have the best of both worlds. I love attacking, really, and sometimes right back, yeah, but I love the responsibility playing centre half. I think if you're centre half, then if a goal goes in, then you can. It's not only your fault, but you're a large part of that. Whereas sometimes at right back you can hide away from the fact. Whereas I've seen bigger centre halves, but obviously you're very, very quick. You can get a position, etc. So yeah, but it's usually the big ones jump the smallest, don't they? So well, we certainly got great memories of those marauding runs of yours at right back during that first season. Yeah, I think after you arrived. I think you can do that from centre half sometimes, really, because I think teams come to us nowadays and they set up, play one up front, and I think sometimes the centre half can bring the ball out, and that can start us. I think sometimes teams push us out to the wide, and that's what they want us to do. Whereas if sometimes we can penetrate down the middle, we'll kill teams. That's what Harry Maguire used to bring. He's probably the best player I've ever played with at doing that. He was when he went to Hull, I thought fully
He
deserved.
was terrific. Yeah. Well, thanks ever so much. That first half has flown by. It's only half time. Really is. It's only half time. With John Brayford, with Toby Perkins, James Gregg will be joining us. We'll talk a bit about Sheffield Wednesday in the second half, plus lots more on the blades. See you in 5 minutes. See you then.